Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Sorry about the bit of the delay. We're caught up doing something. You know how it is, prepping for moves and whatnot. Everything just kind of happens at once. So gotta get this done, then you just kind of get into a rhythm. But we are here now for the second last stream before the move happens. So just a reminder, everybody, today in general, the two streams I do today will be the last streams until I am moved into my new place sometime next week. I'm shooting for being back on the 18th, at the latest, I think. It could potentially happen earlier, don't know yet, but I'm shooting for about the 18th. We'll see. We shall see. But for now, we're just gonna enjoy some more Grisaia. Continuing on, of course, with Makina's route. Last time, we were still part of our summer vacation, and Amane was gone back to her hometown of Kyoto, so it was pretty much just up to us to deal with Makina. And we were following a schedule she herself had made. But then we kind of scrapped that partially because Yuji wanted to go to his master's grave to clean it up, at least at some point during their summer vacation, but Makina's like, why not now? Let's just go now. And he's like, well, you know what, really late notice, but sure, why not? So after getting Amane's motorcycle working, getting approval from JB and all that fun stuff, they were well on their way. They trekked up the mountain after riding the motorcycle for a while. Got to the cabin Yuji used to live in with his master. They cleaned up the grave and just kind of relaxed and, you know, had a better time than they thought. Especially Yuji. A lot of memories just kind of came up in him because he was talking a lot about his master. Which, yeah, that's the most we've ever gotten about Asako at all. Alright, last route was we got a bit more about Kazuki, so this route we got a bit more about Asako. So when we let off, they were staying there for the night just because if they were to drive back on the motorcycle now, it would be really late into the night, and there's always the risk of Makina slipping off the back of the motorcycle because she fell asleep. So they stayed the night. And when we start back up, it should be them back at the dorm, if I remember correctly. So thankfully, we didn't have to go through an entire motorcycle trip back with them. I was a little annoyed we have to go through an entire troubleshooting the motorcycle thing. Like, oh my god. And him bitching and moaning about, well, this is such a weird bike. Whatever. It's Grisaia. I've got to expect it at this point. Alright. Load it up. And let's get to it. The next day, just as scheduled, Makina and I returned to Mihama Academy dorm a little before noon. Yeah, he did have to call, at least he left a message to JB, just saying, my plans kind of changed, staying at the cabin for the night instead of heading right back. We'll be back at the dorm by 1200 hours. Because he needs permission to go anywhere outside the prefecture. He needs an actual itinerary, so if he did not let her know, oh boy, he could be in shit. More than likely. I'm just assuming that his fucking workplace sounds like an awful thing to do. It's military, but even worse so. It's like Black Ops shit. But not even like real military. It's like just a government thing. I don't know. I don't completely understand anything about Ichigaya yet. Other than he works there. Taking over what Asako was doing. Which seems to be a lot of killing people, assassinations. Although the total length of our trip was barely more than a day, for Makina, it seems to have qualified as a genuine adventure. From the moment she woke up this morning, the girl was even more hyper than usual. She insisted that just heading back wouldn't be no fun. So after I deposited her in the tandem seat, we ate a quick breakfast of dried fish in a diner open early for the local fishermen, then drove around on a lightning tour of the major local sightseeing points. We eventually winded our way leisurely back while taking frequent breaks. Why? You're ashamed to announce you're back? Whatever, it's Makina. You're just like, the fuck? I don't understand what you're supposed to be ashamed about. It's not like we went to Guam or something, you know? Yeah, we're home. Yes and good. There's your answers. The very picture of picturesque. Picture squiddy. Oh my. Okay, thanks Makina for making up another word. That's in Saipan. You climbed Mount Fuji. And we only made it as far as the 5th station. Now it's Hawaii? Incidentally, the things you're waving around with a giant grin on your face are rice cakes with black honey. Sure, we made it to Oceania. Yeah, okay. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, it's morphin' time. I'm Oceanic, man. Oh, whatever. I love my references to all that. Don't start morphing into abstract geopolitical constructs. Why are you blushing? Why are you ashamed to be back? Okay. It took me a second. That is a reference to Mobile Suit Gundam 0083. The name is escaping me. Stardust Memory. When a character with a nuclear warhead in a mobile suit is ready to fire it at a base called Solomon, that was formerly owned by his side, but that was taken over during the original series, he literally shouts, "Solomon, I have returned!" and then launches a fucking nuke. Why? Why are you referencing Gundam? I mean, I like it, but why? Also, now that I'm just kind of on the fix of that, that's just been brought up. I'm just gonna get them, I'm gonna get some pictures here. Real quick. Oh boy. Okay, got my pictures. So, this is gonna be something and a half, I'm just gonna say. Wow, that's a gigantic ass picture. That should be close enough. Alright, so in Stardust Memory, at least after that nuke is... not even before that nuke is launched, just... There are two Gundams at the start that are shown off, that are being tested, they're prototypes, whatnot. There was the GP-01, which is your standard-looking Gundam. This one is specifically after it's fitted for space equipment. And then there's the totally not evil GP-02. One of these looks like a good guy suit. One of these does not. Which do you think it is, chat? Which, Ooh, that's the wrong thing I was about to grab. I'm trying to enlarge both of these pictures at once. There we go. Tell me, chat. Tell me. Which one do you think is the hero suit? Which one's the hero suit? Which one's the good guy using? And yeah, I think I got the pictures at about the correct scale, so yeah. One. Well, it's Gundam, so good and bad is all about whose side you're on in your perspective. So, you could be right in saying 1 is used by the hero, yes. But you could also say 2 is being used by the hero, just the hero of a different faction. But that's Gundam in a nutshell. I mean, sometimes there's just straight up, I'm just being evil for the lulz. But Gundam makes you really question things. Like, are these really just terrible people being terrible? No, they got their own solid reasons for doing what they're doing. Because not even some of the people on the good side are good people. Also, how you doing, Nick? So yeah, the GP-01 is used by at least the hero of the story. And the GP-02 is used by, I guess you could say, a hero of Zeon. It just required him to launch an entire nuke at, well... He launched a nuke at the entirety of the Earth Federation. It's
a Gundam!
That is indeed a Gundam. It's a big, thick boy, too. Look at those feet. His feet are gigantic. It's got a massive bazooka to launch that single nuke it has. It has 2 beam sabers and then some little head Vulcans. This thing is not heavily armed. Its whole shtick is, launch the nuke, get out of dodge. It's also technically an illegal suit. Because of treaties that were signed. No nukes used in this war, please. This place is bad enough, no nukes. They decided to go around that playing, you know, technicalities. Like, well, it was signed with the Principality of Zeon, but the Principality is no more. It's now the Republic of Zeon, so the treaty is null and void, nukes are fair game. It's like, fucking technicalities. You really think that would hold up? No! After that shit got stolen and then eventually destroyed, they wiped all data of it ever existing. And everything, because they didn't need the blowback. It's like, they couldn't even charge anyone for stealing other suits on their side to stop it, because if we try to, you know, lay actual criminal charges on you for stealing a suit that, according to our data now, no longer exists, we have to admit that they existed. So, you're just free to go, I guess. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. People say, don't put politics in my anime, go to Gundam, it's always politics. There's always been politics in there, big time. It's a commentary on war. Not just, ooh, cool robot. But I mean, it is also, ooh, cool robot. I'm sorry, I'm just, you know, rambling now about Gundam. I'm still waiting for the new season to start up again. I'm waiting for Season 2, Witcher Mercury, because Season 1 ended really nicely and really well. I just can't wait to play this G Generation Genesis eventually. I'm probably going to start that a little bit after I get up into my new place. But whatever I manage to finish first. Whatever game I happen to finish first out of my entire lineup next time that I have going now, I'll probably just replace with G Generation Genesis. Because I really want to play that. I've got my teams nearly ready to go after continually replaying the first mission over and over and over again. Oh, I have no life. Anyway, let's see where this Gundam reference takes us. It's probably going to stop right there. I gotta hear her say it again. God damn it, isn't just the rest of it? Wait, this means fucking Sakaki knows about 0083. She knows of Gundam. Okay, I'm actually kind of starting to like Sakaki a little bit more. Not only is she MLG gamer staying up at night playing, you know, probably Counter-Strike. Buys a lot of shit online. Now she knows about Gundam. Or is at least aware of it. I wouldn't be surprised if she watched the damn thing. I'm starting to like Sakaki a little more. I'm gonna be amazed what her route will have. Bombarded by Makina's raw energy, elevated beyond baseline levels into something precariously close to a frenzy, Sakaki sighs heavily, her expression vaguely gloomy. She's a Gundam among us! Get her! Sorry, I gotta... yeah, this'll work. This'll work. I doubt anyone in the chat is going to understand what I am doing, or what picture I'm bringing up, but I just need to do this because I need to. No one is going to understand this. Oh my god, of course these pictures are fucking gigantic. How do you do, fellow Federation soldiers? I got kinda lost on my way here. Mind pointing us toward your base? I'm totally a gym. It's not a gym. It's not a gym. It's not a Federation suit. You wanna know what a gym looks like? What a proper gym looks like? I'm nerding out, so just bear with me for a minute, people. Oh my god, I picked the tiniest fucking photo possible, apparently. Whatever, good enough. It's just for demonstration purposes. That's a gym. This is a gym. The one on the right is not a gym. It is a Xeon enemy suit that has been, you know, modified to look like a gym. You know, just to kind of sneak in there. It doesn't have a that white thing on its back is not a beam saber like on the gym. It's just a rod. It's just a metal pole. It's just there. There for looks. Shockingly, the gym cam off, which is what this thing is called, actually worked exactly as intended. They were able to sneak into enemy lines, no one suspected a thing. Why did they not use it again after their first time using it? Well, you see, it's very simple. Their own ship picked it up on their sensors and shot it down, thinking it also was, you know, a Federation suit. So it worked so well, they fooled themselves. The disguise was so perfect, friendly fire got him. Yeah, that happened, so they never used it again. Didn't even bother trying. Was not worth the risk. So there we go. Sorry about me nerding out there for a minute. I just, you know me. I nerd out. And let me actually close off Chrome. I don't need it open. I mean, it doesn't affect anything really anymore, but always just might as well keep it closed. I don't need to have more RAM taken up than needed. I can practically see the words, "The return of the troublemaker," rising up her throat, only to be forced back down through an effort of will. Well, that was yesterday. This is today.
遠くを見つめるようにしみじみとそういうこと言うなよ。うるさいわね。頭痛いんだから大きな声出さないでよ。
I forgot when we called fucking Sachi just to let her know we'd be late. Michiru was making a ruckus about it in the background, so she hit her with something. I think it was a vase. I'm not surprised she has a headache.
チルチル二日酔い？違うわよ。なんでか知らないけど頭がズキズキするね。昨日の夜の記憶もなんだか曖昧だし。
Oh my god, he hit her so hard she got amnesia. Just, you know, temporary memory loss from a vase.
勉強のしすぎではありませんか？頭は大切にしてくださいね。大事に使えば一生使えますから。
You're just like, you bullshitting me. I know you hit her with something.
何か？
No. Just wondering where to begin jabbing at. I mean, the idea of Michiru studying is enough to make you die laughing. And if your head ever stops functioning, your life's over. So the second part of the sentence is a meaningless truism. But first and foremost, you're the one who judged that deranged blonde to be a threat and subdued her through blunt force.
風見さんがどうしても突っ込みたいのであれば潔く突っ込まれますが、できれば突っ込まないでください。
Stop. I see. At times, it's hard being a man.
何の話を？突っ込みたがる男と突っ込まれるのを嫌がる女。ままならねえもんだな。
Oh my god.
よくわかんないけど、とにかく静かにしなさいよ。つかあんた、なんか妙にテンション高くない？
Problem? Well, it seems I put the girl to bed too early last night. She woke up at 4:30 in the morning today. Didn't seem like she was going back to bed anytime soon, so I ended up leaving a little earlier than planned. We improvised a half-assed little sightseeing tour on the way back.
あんまり寝てないから無駄にはい。それに追加して旅行のバカンス気分の余韻がまだ抜けていないようね。楽しかったということだけは覚えていて、何を見てきたのかはまるで覚えていない。遠足から帰った小学生ってきっとこんな感じなのね。失敬だ なお前。ちゃんと山にも行って湖にも行ってきたっつうの。
Alright. What mountains? What lakes? Explain.
じゃあ何山に登って何湖を見てきたか覚えてる？アッポさんと馬か？
Yes, you went to Lake Titicaca. What the f- My God, that's just a normal name. Why'd they censor it? Titty spelled with an I. And then Caca is just, C-A-C-A. Why did they bother censoring it? It's a real place. Also, we definitely did not go to fucking South America. We'd have to cross an ocean to do that. Once again, Makina's slippers squeak with unnaturally convenient timing.
今、なんて言った？
She said Lake Titicaca.
聞き返すその勇気、敬服します、ミチル様。
Close, but no. They're both the tallest mountains in their countries, but that one's in the Philippines. Also, I don't remember taking you all the way to South America. By the way, that lake really exists, so there's no need for the slipper squeaking.
全然惜しくないじゃないのよ。というか、イリスさん、あなたわざと言い間違えていない？そぎゃんこつは仲よ。
Huh?
熊本？
Well, I don't know. Maybe this is a bit of a rebound?
何それ？
Even Makina wouldn't run around shrieking on a visit to a grave. Maybe this is just the recoil from all the time she actually spent behaving herself? Then again, I did see a new side of her, so maybe the whole hyperact is an attempt at hiding her embarrassment.
そういうこと言うのよくないよ。キャラがブレるじゃんかいさ。
In any case, I'm glad we made it back in one piece.
なんだかお疲れのご様子ですね。
Yeah, I won't deny I'm a little worn out. Amane's Bobotaro is fine for tooling around the neighborhood, but it's just not that suited for long-distance travel. I couldn't quite stomach taking that thing on the expressway, so we came all the way back on local roads. That probably contributed to the fatigue as well.
お風呂にでも入られて少しお休みになられてはどうでしょう。いいね。私もお風呂入って寝る。
Hold on. Don't you have your part-time job this afternoon?
2時からなのよさ。だからさっちん、1時に起こして。わかった。1時だね。
To be honest, I wasn't able to get much rest at all last night. I've had a surprising string of days recently where I've managed to get a solid 8 hours of sleep, so I almost started to forget. But I've never been a deep sleeper, and typically jerk awake several times a night. Yesterday was a particularly awful example. It's not like I'm physically exhausted, but I can definitely feel something like mental weariness weighing down on me. So after reporting our safe return to Amane and JB, I apply my eye drops and lie down. Practically the moment my eyes close, some tense cord inside me snaps at last, and I tumble into unconsciousness. Damn. Man is tired. Hey, yo, what? What bombing? When I heard about the bombing, the sky outside had already grown pink, and the cries of cicadas were beginning to cool down the scorched earth. What the fuck happened? With a few hours of deep and dreamless sleep behind me, I walk out into the lobby, trying to shake off the slight lingering heaviness in the core of my head. Encounter Sakaki there, glued to the television, and receive the unexpected news that a bombing has taken place in the vicinity of Mishima Cape Station. Well, fuck. According to the news program she's watching, an automobile parked by the road in the shopping district abruptly exploded around 6 this evening. Oh my god. But that's not what I need to know right now. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Well, this just got real. Thanks, Grisaia. And? Is Makina alright?
現場のすぐ近くにいたみたいだけれど、無事だったみたい。でも。
Oh, well, I don't know. However...
少し様子がおかしかったわ。多分、あまり見たくないものを見てしまって、少しショックを受けたよね。
Yeah, no shit. Being anywhere near a bombing is gonna fuck you up somehow. I see. And where is she now?
小峰さんが付き添って、スオさんの部屋で横になっているわ。今はそっとしておいてあげて。
Alright. The word bombing means it wasn't an explosion caused by someone carelessly overturning a fuel tanker or some other accident of that sort. It looks like the vehicle that exploded was a standard-sized passenger automobile, but from the low-resolution images on the television news program, it's not possible to identify the model or brand. However, Sakaki's clicking away at her notebook PC as we're watching the show, and eventually finds a better quality photograph taken at the scene of the on the internet. I thought I'd never hear that sound again. Through that, we're able to establish it as a German luxury car. Oh, look, the cicadas. The vehicle had completely flipped over from the force of the explosives. But as a rule, German automobiles are built sturdy. Oh, the sensor noise? Oh, okay. Okay. What's up with my tea? I'm gonna cook in a bit. The body itself may be damaged beyond the point of repair, but the cabin wasn't crushed or deformed. At a glance, I'm willing to bet they used Semtex, and the explosion clearly occurred underneath the car. Since the interior of the car itself wasn't blown apart, it seems likely they used a shaped charge deliberately set to flip the entire thing over. That would seem to suggest they didn't know ahead of time which seat their target would be using. Given such extensive damage to the entire vehicle, even if the cabin remained intact, there's no guarantee anyone would get out of the ensuing fire alive.
この事件はイリスさんに関係があるという話はしたわね。
Why is it connected to her? Yeah.
それは単純にイリスさんが偶然事件に遭遇したという話ではなくて、イリスさん本人、あるいは彼女の実家であるイリス家に大きく関与しているということなのよ。
Huh? What do you mean?
爆破された車はイリスさんの家の車なのよ。乗車していたのは運転席に専属の運転手が1人、そして後部座席にはイリス家の人間が乗っていた。
So it was a hit. Who was it?
イリス・サリナ、イリス・マキナの妹よ。
Oh. What's her little sister doing around here? Her younger sister? Makina's sister was... But why was she even...
ほら、三島崎の駅の南側に今新しいファッションビルが建設中でしょ。
Yeah. That one that was supposed to open before summer vacation, but ended up getting delayed. I remember Amane mentioning something about this. From what she told me, the place was going to be something like a mall focusing on high fashion. Numerous brands had signed on as tenants, along with restaurants and a movie theater. In particular, there were some foreign boutiques that would be launching their first stores in Japan there. So its upcoming opening was apparently generating some real buzz.
その工事の遅れ自体にもいろいろな裏があるようなのだけれど、今は関係ないと考えたら問題ないわ。イリスさんの妹さんはオープン前のとあるブランドショップに買い物に来ていて、その帰りに事件に遭遇したらしいわ。
Jesus Christ, why were they targeting her sister? Why do you know so much about this?
知っている人間は何でも知っているものよ。あなた、蛇の道は蛇って知っている？
Well, I know what the phrase means.
そうじゃなくて、そういう名前の会員制の情報サイトがあるのよ。今私が話した情報も、さっきの事件現場の詳細な画像も、そこからダウンロードしたものよ。
Okay. I see. JB's registered on a similar site, actually. It's impossible to join without the recommendation of an existing member. A new account is in the tens of millions of yen, and even the monthly fee is in the millions. I remember her complaining about the ridiculous charges. But for some reason, the stream of new applicants never seems to dry up. Come to think of it, it's a little disturbing that this girl already has a membership to a site like that at her age.
それなりに信頼のおけるサイトとはいえ、得られる情報には限度があるし、私のポケットマネーで得られる情報なんてたかが知れているけれど、その他の案件と照らし合わせて考えれば、イリスさんの実家で何かがあったと見るべきでしょうね。
What's that something supposed to be?
それが分かっているようなら、私だってこんな回りくどい言い方はしないわよ。
Wait, you're trying to say the family was trying to kill her little sister anyway. They're trying to kill one of their own. Oh my god. Maybe they've done it before. You know, Makina's dad, so I guess now the sister needed to be out of the picture for some reason. Maybe she wasn't too interested in trying to take up the family business and become the new head later? I don't know. I do not know.
これはあくまでも私の勝手な予測だけれど、イリスさんが実家を追われる原因にもなった誘拐事件、あの事件の引き金にもなった原子力発電所絡みの案件がまだ水面下で動いているのかもしれないわね。
Hold on, Sakaki. You knew about Makina's kidnapping?
概要ぐらいはね。私の実家とも無関係ではないし、興味本位で調べたわけではないということは理解しておいてほしい。
Oh, nice. But I hadn't heard it was connected to a nuclear power plant. Makina's father was an accountant at the Ministry of Defense, wasn't he? How does that tie together?
あなた、その情報どこから？
Straight from his source. A superior at my part-time job.
あなたのアルバイト先というのも私にはある程度予想はついているのだけれど正確なところは聞かない方がいいのよね。
Yes. That'd be appreciated. Also, I'm nothing but a part-timer. Try to keep that in mind.
そうね。今問題にするべきはイリスさんが何を見てどう関与したか。そこに尽きるでしょうね。
There's a sickening swell of uneasiness rising in my chest. What the hell is this? What's going on?
マキちゃん、やっと眠ってくれました。
Is it alright to leave her alone?
はい、今は静かに眠っていますし、ミチル様が付き添っていますから大丈夫です。一体何があったというの？彼女から何か聞けた？はい、詳しい話を聞くことができました。私はマキちゃんのことまだ何も知らなかったんだってそう思い知らされました。
Well, alright, start laying down the facts, Sachi. We kinda gotta know this stuff. Why was Makina on the scene of the bombing in the first place?
現場にいたというわけではなくて、近所の喫茶店とホテルにパンの配達に行っている途中だったようです。
Jeez. Literally just happened to be there while at the same place her sister was killed. Makina was cheerfully humming her way down the street in front of the station, bags of fresh bread carefully cradled in her arms, when she noticed a shrill, irritable-sounding voice a little ways ahead of her. When she casually glanced up to find its source, Makina discovered that the voice belonged to a girl about her own age. The girl was walking down the sidewalk in the opposite direction, a man in a black suit following closely behind like an escort. Makina recognized that girl at once. It was her little sister. When the psychological trauma of Makina's kidnapping had left her unable to handle even the demands of everyday life, this girl had taken her place as the future leader of their clan. Although Makina thought of her as a sister, their fathers were different. She was the product of a lengthy tryst between Makina's mother and a man from the Branch family. Oh, okay, lovely. Or tryst, I don't know. Unlike Makina, who took after her father with a round, chubby face, her sister's features had always been more refined, strongly resembling their mother. As a child, Makina had been envious of her appearance. But today, that shapely face was contorted in irritation, an expression that spoke of stress and deep-rooted frustration.
私が来ることは事前に知らせてあったし、希望する商品も伝えてあったでしょうに。どうしてちゃんとサイズを揃えておかないの？商売をする気がないのかしら。それとも私をバカにしているの？
Yeah, someone's high on themselves.
申し訳ございません。事前通達に不備がございました。後日屋敷の方へ届けさせますので、どうかご容赦をいただきたく。
As the voices drew closer, Makina reflexively hid herself in the shadows. It was an old habit. If Makina hadn't taken ill, her sister never would have been placed in her current position. She'd probably be living normally in the Branch family even now. At first glance, this pampered, ultra-privileged lifestyle might seem preferable to that. However, Makina had learned from Kazumi Yuji that a life totally free of inconvenience only hinders your growth as an individual. And today, she couldn't see the girl in front of her as anything but an unfortunate. As an unfortunate, really? Robbed of dreams, hopes, and freedom in exchange for empty luxury. She felt a twinge of something very much like pity. Makina had been the same way once. It was only after her arrival at Mihama that she came to understand the virtues of a normal existence. Biting her lower lip, she whispered a sympathetic apology inside her mind. I'm sorry, Sachin. Makina first learned she had a little sister when she was 5 years old. As the eldest daughter of the family's head, she'd been raised as an only child. But when she learned that her mother had borne a child to the branch family's second son only a year after her own birth, she was genuinely happy. At the time, Makina didn't really understand the implications of her mother giving birth to the child of a man other than her husband. And the reasons why that child couldn't enter the main family, or even meet her older sister, were equally mystifying. In the first place, Makina wouldn't even have learned of her sister's existence if not for a butler's careless slip of the tongue. But once she did know, Makina developed a burning curiosity toward the girl she'd never met. Every once in a while, she would pay her sister stealthy visits, observing her life from afar. Every time she spied on that little girl, living a normal life as a member of the Branch family, the knowledge that she had a sibling grew more real to her. Many times, Makina would come to the verge of calling out to her, only to hold back at the last moment. Looking at her sister clinging affectionately to her stepmother's waist, innocently begging her mommy for some treat, Makina knew the sudden arrival of a big sister could very well shatter the girl's peaceful family. She could never bring herself to take that risk. But Makina didn't stop taking the time to go see her sister. Eventually, she invented a nickname for the girl she'd never even spoken to, developing a one-sided make-believe relationship. Even the day she was kidnapped, just before going to her language class at cram school, she'd been secretly watching her little sister from inside her chauffeured car. Jesus. And that was the last time Makina had seen her sister. Only hours later, she was kidnapped. Her father was killed before her eyes, and she was consigned to a life in the hospital that would last many years. Makina knew the girl was her little sister, but the girl didn't know her. There was no real reason she had to hide. After a moment's hesitation, she emerged from her hiding place, resettling the bread in her arms. And just as she'd done in the old days when in a slightly playful mood, she carefully forced a nonchalant expression onto her face, then began to walk toward her sister. The man in the business suit behind the girl was burdened with the countless bags emblazoned with the names of expensive clothing stores. No doubt the result of an almost rudely indiscriminate shopping spree on Serena's part. The trip was probably less about buying clothes than it was venting built-up stress from the heavy responsibilities and expectations placed on the family's future leader. Makina remembered doing something very similar herself, even as a child. Been a while, huh? As they walked past each other on the sidewalk, Makina offered her sister a silent greeting inside her mind. They had passed each other by like this numerous times before, although only Makina knew it. Every time, it felt as though the words, "I'm your big sister," would slip out of her mouth. But they could never make it past the tip of her tongue. And today was no different. It just wasn't a possibility. Her sister's current position was founded on her absence. For another thing, Serena had almost certainly been told she was dead. Even if it was permitted, Makina wouldn't know how to begin speaking to her, let alone what they could talk about. Makina glanced over her shoulder, catching a glimpse of her sister being helped into a sleek black car stopped by the side of the road. It was reassuring to see her sister being taken care of. But that thought reminded Makina that she herself no longer had a place in the house she was born into. She couldn't help feeling a slight prick of sadness. But today, she had a hard-won family of her own. The students at Mihama. They'd given her things her real family never could. Feeling her heart grow lighter, Makina clutched the warm bread against her chest and drew a deep breath, drinking up the comforting scent of wheat. A small smile spread across her face. Okay, this is both sad but also sweet at the same time. I mean, ask Grisaia. They know how to get these kind of emotions going. Once this delivery was over, the day's work would be done. She wanted to run home and see everyone. To give Amani a call in Tokyo. Yeah, call Amani. She was in Kyoto. Buoyed by these thoughts, she took a step forward. And in that instant... Makina felt a flash of heat against the back of her body, almost like a burst of powerful sunlight. Before she could even flinch, a thunderous roar rattled her eardrums so harshly it caused her physical pain. Hey, Brozard. How's it going? A fraction of a second later, fine particles of something like sand swept violently past her, flying down the asphalt like waves. We blowing up Makina now? No, her sister. We got back from a little thing we did last stream of going to his old house, and then he went for like a damn near 7-hour nap. By the time he woke up, he found out there was a bombing, and well, the victim was apparently Makina's sister. Makina was nearby, and well, yeah, she wasn't doing too good. Probably just because my sister just died, like probably a few feet away from me, very violently. And as the burning wind crawled over her, she saw the light, downy hair on her forearms smoldering. Oh my god! She was really close. Also, ew, burnt hair. Ugh. I gotta be careful when I grill stuff. I've singed hair every now and again. It just kind of flares up. Ugh, does not smell great. Ugh. With a strangled half scream, Makina squeezed her eyes shut just before the massive wave of heat knocked her down onto the sidewalk. For a moment, she couldn't process what had just happened. Crumpled on the hard concrete, listening to the grit gliding across the asphalt, the answers came to her slowly and haltingly, as if filtered through the translation of a clumsy interpreter. An explosion? It took a full 2 seconds for those words to float to the surface of Makina's mind. She picked herself onto her knees, disbelieving, telling herself it couldn't be. But when she turned around, she came face to face with harsh, undeniable reality. Oh, you can't even give us a CG. Her dumbfounded gaze found the luxury black sedan her sister had stepped into moments before. It was lying upside down, all but consumed in bright red flames. Huh? No, this can't be real. Don't mind that, how I said that. I just fucked it up. This time, her mind couldn't catch up at all. She didn't want it to. She didn't want to accept the reality before her eyes. Just a moment ago, she'd seen her sister from the side. A slightly irritated expression on her face. So close, she could have reached out and touched her. Many thoughts were circling frantically around inside her mind. Inside her head, as her mind tried desperately to make something like sense out of the situation. But it was all fragments, nonsense, noise. There were no answers she could accept. Somebody was yelling into her ear. She could understand that it was the voice of someone who was worried about her, still sitting there glued to the ground. But she couldn't muster the focus to decipher their words, much less respond to them. Yeah, she's in shock. She's like 100% like in shock right now. Makina didn't move an inch from that spot. Until, at last, the voice said, "We need to get out of here," and firm hands pulled her to her feet.
マキちゃんを寮まで連れ帰ってくれたのは八百屋のご主人でした。最初は病院に連れて行こうとしたらしいのですが、マキちゃんが病院はどうしても嫌だっていうものだからここに連れてきたそうです。
I'm not surprised she doesn't want to go to the hospital. She was kind of there for, years already. She's not physically injured, right?
はい、右腕に赤くなる程度の軽い火傷を負っていますが、冷やせばきれいに治ります。ですが、
Psychological damage is going to be more severe.
そのようです。こんな時、私のような女はただただ無力を痛感するわ。
Sakaki's words express my current feelings to the letter. I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm supposed to talk to her. I don't even know what sort of expression I should have on my face when I go see her. Approach this the wrong way, and I might well end up making things even worse. Thoughts like these rob us of the ability to even try. But I suppose there is one thing only I can do, small as it may be. You gonna call JB? Yeah, calling JB. You're on top of things as usual. Where'd you hear about that? Yes, we're aware of the site. Yeah, I am. It's a membership-based information exchange where your sort of people gather, right? Something wrong? Because Sakaki told us about it. She's also a member. Anyway, how much information did you manage to gather over there? Yet? Does that mean there's a possibility of initiating actual observation in the future?
あなたの知る必要のないことです。
Active observation. Okay. Oh, you don't need to know. Of course. Julia.
そんな声を出してもダメ。
Can I come to your place tonight?
ダメ。
I just want to have some of your home cooking for the first time in a while. Still no good?
そんなこと言ったって、ダメなものはダメなんだからね。
When you refuse me that stubbornly, it's as good as admitting there's a high chance the problem's gonna get worse. Does this have anything to do with you not picking up your phone lately? Yes, it does. The news shows seem to be pushing a theory that this was an act of terrorism motivated by the construction of a nuclear power plant. What's the real story?
答えられないわ。
I see. Sorry, I'm not looking to harass you here. But can you answer 2 more questions? Whatever information you can give me is fine.
言ってみなさい。聞くだけは聞いてあげる。
How is Makina's younger sister doing?
ニュースで流れている通りよ。命は取り留めたものの、
Damn.
予断を許さない状況が続いているわ。
She survived the car bombing. Holy fuck. Will she make it?
なんとも言えないわね。皮膚や臓器の移植が必要なレベルだとの情報が入っているし、近いうちに海外に移送して提供者を待つという噂もあるわね。
Jesus Christ. I see.
質問はそれだけ？
No, there's one other, on an unrelated topic. This is the one thing I really want to know.
はあ、でしょうね。いいわ。言ってみなさい。
If Makina's sister ends up losing her current position due to her injuries, is there a possibility Makina will be expected to resume that role?
その回答は拒否するわ。
Oh, okay, you just choose not to answer it. Not that you can't answer it, you just don't want to. That's never a good sign. Let me rephrase it then. Is there a possibility Makina's going to be in danger going forward?
あなた、どこまで嗅ぎつけているの？
Essentially nothing. My nose is just twitching, that's all. It was basically a leading question.
そうね。このままあなたに憶測だけでおかしな行動を取られても迷惑だし、正直なところを話しておくけど、イリス・マキナに危険が及ぶ可能性は
Oh, great.
決して低くはないわね。
Alright, well, at least she's got Yuji. You know, Mr. Professional killer here. She'll be fine, I think. I fucking hope. I don't need another girl ending up in a hospital bed or hunted down in the woods. I've had too many of that so far.
私の見立てでは 70% の確率で
Oh,
何らか
hell.
の接触があるでしょうね。
Great.
だけど、その件に関しては近いうちにあなたに声がか
Oh,
かる可
even
能性が高い
fucking
わ。
better.
だから今は余計なことをしないでちょうだい。通常通り命令に備えて待機していなさい。
In other words, no independent use of force outside the range of self-defense?
その通り。犬は犬らしく、主人が紐を引くまで小屋でおとなしくしていなさい。怪しい人が来たら、ふてくされてないで、ちゃんと吠えるのよ。
Can I really trust you on this?
飼い主を疑うな。それがいい犬の第一条件よ。あの朝子でさえ命令無視なんて数えるほどしかしなかったんだから。
Huh. Alright. Try counting then. Them.
1回、2回、3回、4、5、6、7。
You're running out of fingers fast.
うるさいな。あの女の真似をしたってろくなことにならないわよ。いいから命令があるまでおとなしくしてるの。いい？わかった？
Yes, mommy. Oh my god.
あんたみたいな可愛くない子、産んだ覚えはないわよ。話はそれだけ？もう切るわよ。
Yeah, thanks. I'll be in touch. Whew. Well then, what to do? It's clear that things are to get troublesome in a number of ways. But as always, I'm in the dark on the specific details. If JB is telling me to do nothing, that's probably the optimal choice at the moment. Even so, that doesn't make it any easier to accept. Get moving before you start thinking too much was a favorite saying of my master's. But JP's fond of acting on the basis of incomplete information is like asking for disaster. So Asuko's thinking is don't think, just do. While JB's is don't do, think first. JB's is look before you leap. While Asuko's is don't think, just do. I'm amazed the two of them got along so well, apparently. For now, it might be wisest just to stay at Makina's side as much as possible, while preparing myself for the possibility of an emergency. There's no need to overthink this. I know what I want to protect. I can see it clearly now. Ideally, I'd love to extinguish the source of this fire before the sparks spread in our direction. But if that's not a possibility, I need to be ready for when things do get ugly. After all, you won't find many guard dogs with nastier fangs than mine. I've been sharpening these teeth for a very long time for this exact purpose. Teeth made to catch prey by the tail, drag them close, and rip out the windpipe in one bite. Damn, dude. Just damn. Although hearing of her sister's survival calmed Makina down significantly, the events of yesterday are still painfully fresh in her mind. She shows us a brave attempt at a smile, but can't hide the weariness beneath it. When the girl declares herself uninterested in breakfast, I enlist Sachi's assistance. And together, we prepare a unique but nutritious mackerel pumpkin soup from Amane's recipe notebook. Okay. Mackerel and pumpkin. Interesting choice. Makina refuses the meal with an almost frightened expression on her face, so I proceed to pin her arms behind her back as our reliable maid emotionlessly crams spoonfuls of food into her mouth. Hell yeah, that sounds great. I never would have thought of fish and pumpkin, in all honesty. Then again, this game is telling me pumpkin is like super fucking nutritious. It's like a literal superfood, so yeah, if you're going on a diet, pumpkin. And that's the answer. Just pumpkin. But it's not pumpkin season. It's pumpkin season somewhere. What's next, Amane? Pumpkin juice? I'm pretty sure they've had pumpkin juice. She saved the fucking skin after, I guess, getting all the pulp out of it. It's either really good or like a stereotypical horrifying food from someone who can't cook in an anime. Bringing it back to Tales of Symphonia here. Cooking is so bad, everyone retches. Literally the entire cooking mechanic, I can set that character to be the one making the meals for after battle, but they can only get up to, I believe, 2 out of 5 stars on most meal, like every meal, like that's their max. They're just that bad. And they've also wanted to make a spicy cake. Yeah, spicy cake. Cake is, you know, sweet. Why can't it be spicy? I want to make a spicy cake. I'm sorry, I don't need Tabasco sauce as the base of this fucking wedding cake. God, Tales is just too good, too funny. It actually got a remaster somewhat. Not the same, but Caribbean Fish and Pumpkin Stew by Martha Stewart. Okay. Tablespoons of vegetable oil, shallots cut into thin rings, tablespoon of thyme, tablespoon of pepper, kosher salt, freshly ground pepper, squash, tomato. Okay, yeah. Yeah, sounds like it'd be good. I mean, it's amazing what people can do with, like, anything nowadays to make a damn good meal out of it. At this point, humanity will eat anything. we always find a way to be able to make anything fucking edible. Especially things you don't expect. Like, again, I never would have thought fish and pumpkin would go together. Now I'm just still imagining right here now, Yuji literally holding Makina down while just Sachi is pouring soup down her throat. Consume! Had a butternut squash lobster bisque a few months back that was divine. Okay. I mean, lobster's just good on its own. And butternut squash is, well, also good. So yeah, making a bisque out of it would work. There was no cream in it, could have fooled me. Well, clearly it was good. I'm not too, you know, super knowledgeable of what foods really do go together. My cooking ability is somewhat minimal. I mean, I can boil spaghetti, I can chop vegetables and stuff, I can grill on a barbecue, I've cooked chicken in an oven, seasoned on top. That's about it. It's minimal, but it's enough to get by. I can cook, just not many things. So I kind of liked when we had, like the, you know, like, what is it? Weekly or bi-weekly, meal kits and stuff that came in. Those were fun, because, I mean, I got the instructions on how to do it, and it felt kind of cool just starting everything up and following it and doing it. Like, that was fun. It was actually kind of thanks to that I actually discovered I actually really do like Brussels sprouts. Yeah. It's part of, what the hell was it? Some kind of pasta dish that had Brussels sprouts in it as well. With chicken as well, so I had to, obviously, boil that pasta, make the sauce, essentially, from all the stuff they gave us. Then, obviously, chop the chicken, cook the chicken, cut all the Brussels sprouts in half, and, you know, get them going in the same pan as that, and then just mixing it all together. That was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and I've been trying to recreate it every time I can. I definitely have forgotten everything about it by now. I just know what it is. Like Alfredo sauce, chicken, some type of pasta, and Brussels sprouts. I have the ingredients. I'm trying to remember the exact formula. I think we have the recipes somewhere. We kept all the recipe cards. So I'm gonna have to, like, dig those out to find that again. But if anything, grilling is my thing. I like putting whatever on the grill. Yeah, they turn out pretty good. A few years ago, a friend got me what called the Flavor Bible, which is essentially a reference book of different foods, their flavor profiles, and what foods go together well with them when cooking. Okay. That's interesting. That would be actually really come in handy, especially if you really do like to experiment with foods in the kitchen. I did open the Martha Stewart one, so that's at least saved my history. I could look back on it later. Just to kind of check it out. Who knows? Actually, no, I don't even think I'll be able to do the meal kit stuff up where I am because everything is P.O. Box, no home delivery. I'm gonna have to find out how that works. Especially if it comes to stuff like Amazon orders and whatnot, because, well, I mean, my sister's been up there, so I'm gonna see, okay, when you order shit, like extra, does it... is it all forced to go to that P.O. box, or will a delivery truck from that company come by and drop it off? That's something I need to know. It's like, every day, do I need to go to that post office and see, do I have something? Because if I do, ooh, that's just gonna be annoying. But whatever. Smaller place, so no actual mail delivery. Just come to the post office, pick it up. Everything. Maybe I'll get less maybe we'll get less, spam mail. Junk mail and all that crap. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. I don't need ads for multiple different politicians trying to get me to vote for them. I don't need a weekly, savings flyer that we never use. Because a lot of the stuff they offer is stuff we don't even need, so it's like, this is just kind of wasted on us. It's gonna be something to really get used to once I'm up there. How everything is definitely gonna be a lot slower paced. That is crazy. It'll take a little bit of getting used to. I'll definitely be having an adjustment period. For sure. But I am super optimistic about this. I'm optimistic about the move. Through this admirable display of teamwork, we successfully force-feed the girl the breakfast her body needs. I know it might be a little hard to eat right now, but your injuries won't heal if you don't get adequate nutrients. Don't matter. You were lucky this time, yes. Just be grateful that explosion didn't give you an afro. It might sound like a joke, but the hot pulse of air from an explosion burns your hair starting from the tip, sometimes curling it pretty dramatically. Yep. As a general rule, it's a good idea to brush a hand over your head when a bomb blast goes off. Often as not, cinders that used to be part of your hair will fall off like sesame seeds from a bun. Alright, this is a good opportunity. Why don't I teach you the anti-explosive self-defense procedure? And she's back to normal. Listen up, Makina. Ever heard some guy in a suit mutter, "It's getting dangerous these days," while looking over their morning paper? Well, that's not just the vapid catchphrase of self-satisfied middle-aged men who think they figured out how the rest of the world works. Oh my god. As you were reminded yesterday, there truly are countless dangers lurking all around us. When such threats arrive, they arrive suddenly, and all too often, we are completely unprepared to defend ourselves. Indeed, such complacent carelessness has become an unfortunate element of our national character. This is the very reason Japan has earned the disgraceful title of pacifist patsies among the major powers. Wow. Pacifist patsies. Oh, great. Propaganda. Or propaganda, whatever. Oh, cop like police, like propaganda. Oh my fucking god. Jesus Christ. I thought cope. I don't know. Brains. Y'all know by now I can't read in the middle of this. When have I ever been able to read something properly? Never. Never been able to read anything properly here. Get too caught up in the moment and boards blur.
なんかまた面倒なことを言い始めたって思ってるけど、お首にも出さずに真摯に受け止めているふりをしておくよ。God damn it, Makina.
Heated gamer reading? Exactly. Exactly. Look, kid. Even if you're thinking that sort of thing, it's better not to actually say it.
ごめんよ。そんで、大爆はどうなった？
Okay, let's try this again. I'll now initiate you in the basics of personal defense against explosions. Get out of Dodge. Listen carefully. The fundamental principle is low to the ground. When an explosion's coming, get down first and think later.
爆発の危険を察知したら、まず伏せろ。
Indeed. Go prone and get yourself as flat to the ground as you possibly can. With the exception of some specifically designed charges, explosions naturally tend to direct their power upward. If there's a foxhole nearby, claim it. Doesn't matter if it's filled to the brim with a mixture of muddy water and excrement. Doesn't matter if your buddy's pathetic corpse is lying inside. Jump in without a moment's hesitation. Go prone or go home in a body bag. After this, assume the anti-explosive position. There's a small flap of cartilage in front of your ear hole called the tragus. Strongly press down on these with your thumbs to protect your eardrums. Is the tragus what I think it is? Oh, it is. Okay. So that's the tragus, okay. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see this, but, probably not at all. Oh my god. I do have them, but they're very, very small. It's kind of like at the, just inner part of your ear, like where it still connects with your face. That little hump there, that's the tragus. Just telling you to push those down to cover your eardrums. Which makes sense. In an explosion, it's very loud. It could pop your eardrums, depending on how close you are. Yeah, today I learned. Next, open your mouth wide. This reduces the burden on your eardrums and keeps your lungs from popping like balloons under the pressure of the shockwave. Thanks, Anime Dating Sim. This also makes sense. Even the things I've heard about, at least if you're in space, if somehow, you know, you're sucked out into the vacuum without a helmet, don't hold your breath. You hold your breath, your lungs will pop and explode, just from the pressure. What apparently you're supposed to do is just get all the air out of your system, exhale immediately, just get it all out, and you'll last longer. I mean, you won't just violently, your insides won't just violently explode, but, yeah. Yeah. So I guess even here, it's just open your mouth, let the explosion happen. Don't make a closed system so the air has nowhere to go. You could do several minutes. The bigger issue is freezing. Exactly. So, yeah. It's kind of terrifying to think how they figured this stuff out. Meaning, did someone try this? Or did they do a simulation of this? No one ever really wants to really answer that question. Which... there's a good reason for that. You don't want to tell people how you're gonna die in space. Safety info for the next time you adrift in space. Yeah, because we're all gonna easily get into space real soon, right? You've experienced for yourself just how powerful that shockwave is, so I'm sure you can understand. But don't underestimate that pressure. When the explosion occurs indoors, it's even more powerful. If you're close to the blast, it's like being squeezed in the hand of a giant. The pain is intense. Sometimes the pressure can push your eyes clean out of their sockets. It's the one that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Oh my god. While pressing the tragus on both ears with your thumbs, use the remaining fingers to cover your eyelids. Keep your eyeballs where they belong and defend them against the flash of the explosion. Yup, you could go temporarily or permanently blind. Atragus among us. God almighty. So basically you want to go like that and like that. Interesting. While also having your mouth open, so... Shit, that ad's... What ad did you get? I am curious, what ads are playing on my fucking channel? Also, that kind of hurts pushing on those. Pushing on the tragus. But I mean, momentary discomfort saving you from popped eardrums. I'll gladly take that any day of the week. The hearing's already bad enough. Also, hey guys, guess what? Even if you're deaf, you can still be affected by tinnitus. So don't just think, oh, I got no eardrums, I don't have to deal with it. No, you'll still have to deal with it. So enjoy that. I can't hear anything. I used to get so many Adobe ads, but now I'm a sub now, so I'm ad-free. That's the benefits of subs. No ads. But I mean, I don't have that many ads going on mine, right? What do I have them set to? I'm gonna look right now. I'm curious. I had it like, I just had like Twitch auto do it just to see. Pre-roll off. Curious. have them set to? Oh, okay. 3 minutes of ads every hour. Damn. That's actually a lot. Huh. Interesting. Hey, I have no... oh, I do have a pre-roll, apparently. Did I turn pre-roll off? Hmm. Oh, okay. It's like a minute and a half of ads every 30 minutes. Okay. That actually makes sense now. About every 30 minutes, there's a minute and a half of ads. That's fine. You see how well I know my own shit? Yeah, well, I think Brozar should be back by now. It's been a bit since you put that ad thing up. Yeah, I'm curious what ad you ended. Yeah, okay. What ad did you get? I want to know what got you that scared you. Am I getting horror movie ads? I think it was Spooked by Adobe. It's not that it was scary, but it was loud. Oh. Yeah, that would definitely do it. So I guess my sound is actually low compared to the ad sound. I mean, that makes sense. I have everything kind of weird. But that's just... I don't know. You all know by now, sound on this is not my strongest suit. Just like the dulcet tones of the BGM music, and then BAM! It's not you, it's the ads that are loud? Okay. But I mean, it could also be me. It could be I have my stuff so low, so you turn up the slider that much more, and then when the ads come on, they're just that much louder. I don't know. Maybe I'll experiment in the future and kind of turn everything up a few notches. A few decibels. Because technically I have Grisaia fairly low, especially compared to my mic. Technically. It's weird. It's weird. Okay. I have all my shirt turned way low, but Twitch artificially bumps up the audio. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, cool. Just like network and cable TV. Ugh. Okay. This is kind of why I stopped wearing headphones, I guess, while I'm watching anything online now. I guess in case that happens. That way I can easily, you know, turn it down from my speakers. And I don't have it right next to my ears. This is 100%, this stuff here is 100% why I've probably got tinnitus. That's the thing, I'm not wearing headphones. Jesus Christ! How fucking loud are they making this shit? Like, my God. Fucking... God damn. Gonna make us all go deaf. My fucking command. God damn it, this stupid command. It always takes that first word. But I get it. It's all good. It's all good, Rosard. Enjoy your lurk. Get that coffee and get that food. God, my fucking lurk command. It's like, no lurk command. That's not how that works. You can fix that with, like, a username instead of... I want to see what I have on there now. Now you've got me curious. What do I have it set as? I swear I have it normal. I mean, I followed a thing to get that on there. Let's see. God, I got a million commands. It's set to user. It is set to that, so I don't know what's going on. Oh well. It's funny. It's funny though. I still laugh. It's still funny whenever that stuff happens. Oh, hey, DMK Wizard, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. Why did I two-hand that? Whatever. Pretty good, just fighting with my TV to get it off the wall. I had a What is your idea? What are you trying to do with the TV? Alright, I'm listening. I'm curious. Alright, I'll probably change that later after stream, if I remember. Just get rid of the 2 and just leave user. Alright. Or maybe I'll just keep it because it's hilarious whenever that happens. Enjoy the lurk, Gunna! For the docs.zer variable, just prints the first argument given to the command. Okay. Designing a new office space. It has no windows, so I'm using my 4K 100-inch TV to make a fake window. Huh. Yeah, it'd help you feel a lot less confined. I can have whatever I want on it. Maybe today I feel like being space. Now, are you setting the TV up normally with it long that way, like horizontal, or are you going full vertical, like a regular window? I mean, either way would work. It's definitely doable. They make enough wall mounts for TVs. Like a normal window? Okay. Yeah, 100% doable. They definitely have wall mounts that are strong enough to hold stuff like that. Put a couch in and some blinds. Yeah, really make it homey. It is your office space, so yeah. Blinds for my fake window. Hey man, if it works, it works. You really sell that illusion. People walking in aren't gonna know it's a fake window right away if you set it up that way. They'll know it's fake when Godzilla decides to walk by. I don't think it's a stupid idea at all. That's actually pretty clever. Definitely help you feel less confined in your office space that way by having the fake window. And it's a nice little project too, just to do, getting it set up nicely and decorating it to look like a window. It's a great party trick. They know it's fake when they walk in a room, all of a sudden they're looking out the window and see Canada while we in Australia. What are you talking about? The Rockies are totally outside my window. I don't know what you're talking about. What outback? There's always been the Rocky Mountains here. Why rent so cheap? Unstable cliff there. Ooh, what the hell? That was weird. All of a sudden just kind of went, ooh. Should be good now, though? Yep, I'm good now. Yeah, I don't think it's a stupid idea at all. It actually sounds kind of fun and pretty cool. I'm doing this at 4 a.m. Okay, maybe that's where the stupid comes in, because it's 4 a.m. that might be. You're doing a little early in the morning, late at night. I think at that point you just call that early in the morning. Unless you started later in the night, then I don't know anymore. Time is a weird construct. My roommate's like, what the fuck are you doing carrying this TV into my office? It's like, what does it look like carrying a TV into my office? Duh. It's exactly what it looks like. I bought it, I'll put it where I want. My TV, my office. No questions asked. So, 100-inch TV, goddamn. Yeah, it's definitely no small-ass TV. Like, holy hell. Sure you couldn't have wrangled one of them to help you get it up there? Can't wait till the landlord comes, is confused as fuck because there's a window here. It's like, oh yeah, just added this window in, no problem. No problem at all. Be even better if you can confuse the fuck out of them by somehow getting a picture of what's actually on the other side of that wall outside, so it does seem like you just added a window. Really confuse the shit out of them, and then switch to something like, I don't know, the ocean. Just to really fuck with them. Granted, only do that if you're on good terms with your landlord. If you're not on great terms with your landlord, maybe don't do that. It's gonna be cool when I'm finished. I'm gonna build a camera dolly and attach it to the ceiling. Alright. He said I can run a business out of the house, that on him. Yeah, he said he could. Yeah, that's actually a really cool idea. Yeah, definitely a cool idea to make a window from a TV. Construction costs are minimal, obviously, because it's just a TV. Don't have to worry about drafts or anything from it either. It's just a TV, and if eventually you don't really like it, it's easy takedown. And then you still have an entire TV to use for whatever you choose. So, not that many negatives. Like, at all, really. Only positives. I'm especially the fan of just kind of, you know, tricking people with it. Maybe I'll turn into a D&D table? That'd be a really big one. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about it. You can have the map displayed out there, obviously put something over top so everyone can put their, like, markers or stuff, unless you want to do it all computerized or, you know, like, all, you know, all digital and stuff and control it somewhere else, so but they can see everything kind of moving on there, on the screen there. At the very least, having it display the entire map is cool. Yeah, that'd actually be really cool. There's a lot you can do with TVs and some creativity. So window and a D&D table are 2 options. 2 out there, not just using this as a TV options. I say I am a fan of that. I'm definitely a fan of that idea. 1 TV and a burst of 4 a.m. energy, anything is possible. Our craziest ideas always come to us at the, like, latest time, all the time. Especially when it's like, I'm just ready to go to sleep. Wait, I just thought of something amazing. Every time. Every time. Either that or when you're in the shower. Why ideas come to us when we're in the shower, I don't know. Probably has something to do with the water running over our heads. I should have 3D printers, so don't put it past me, I can create just about anything. Then you're set. You're essentially set. You can make your imagination reality at that point. Yeah, you're absolutely set then for that. Silicone printers. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that stuff. I wouldn't even know where to begin to get a 3D printer. Not that I even need one in any way, shape, or form, so that's probably part of why I don't know where to get the one. I just know they cost a lot. You're essentially getting what you pay for with them, which, I mean, that's just how everything is. Generally, the more you pay for something, the better quality it would end up being. Especially for something like 3D printer. You 100% need one. You know how much useless shit I print in 1 week? I can't justify any kind of big purchase like that. Especially when I keep refilling it with stuff so it can print things. I already have enough random trinkets lying around. I don't need to, like, you know, make them out of thin air. Who knows? Who knows what the future will bring? I have a dice addictions. Also, oh, fun. I mean, who doesn't like dice? I got a bag of dice. Like, for comic shop, I pick through their bins of dice just to have one of the exact same color of each, and then went to a different game shop and just, like, bought 2 things of them. Just kept adding them into a bag. I love dice. They're fun. They're cool. Fun to just kind of mess around with. You don't even have to play anything with them. Just messing around with dice is fun. I go to the shop, they have new dice, I'll walk out with 10 new sets. You got dice for every occasion. I looked into getting custom dice at one point. It's like a gift for all my friends and stuff. It just kind of became a little too complicated. Didn't know when it would actually show up. So I kind of put that one on the back burner. I might eventually do it in the future. Just order some custom dice with like all my friends' names on them instead of numbers, just as like a fun little novelty. Or just get them a set where the 1 is replaced with their names. So it's like, these are your dice. I gotta look into it again. Cause I like doing stuff like that. Buried with my dice, poured into the grave hole. It's literally gonna fill the grave. At that point, it will fill up your grave. I'm just gonna check my emails real quick. Yeah, I got a feeling this isn't an email from actual Netflix. But I won't delete it right away. But I got a good feeling it's not actually from Netflix. Saying your payment is on hold. It was rejected by your financial institution. There's not even their logo on here. Also, the fucking email is apparently like a .jp, so yeah, no, this is definitely not Netflix. Nice try. And no, I'm not going to download the PDF you have. I'm not touching that shit with a 10-foot pole. Just some person who digs me up in 10,000 years they think it was made out of plastic cubes. You know, they search for the dice and end up finding a skeleton! Unless you get your remains turned into dice. Just like get yourself cremated and have the cremated remains made into dice somehow. That'd be interesting. Get yourself turned into dice. Also, I've been talking for a while. I should probably continue a little more of this game. Yo, there you go. I gave you an idea for the future. Getting your remains turned into dice. Good. Alright then, next up, we're beginning image training based on a hypothetical scenario. Situation as follows. Recon mission in the subtropical jungle. The time? Dawn. Your enemies are powerful local gorillas. Then my kids enroll me in the D&D board. That'd be kind of... It would be interesting and kind of cool that way. So you're always still there at the table. You're always still around there at the table. Even when you're gone. But then when they get bad rolls, they can just blame you. I'll be back soon. Need to buy another TV. I can make this so much better. Make sure you also get some sleep. Again, it's 4 a.m. for you. They're well equipped and have excellent morale. Enter the scenario. Enemy raid! Hi, Roops. I had enough coffee in my blood to kill a goth addicted to... Oh my god, that's a specific sentence. What's up, honey bun? What's up, baby girl? Come to say hello? Yeah? You come to say hello, missy? Good girl. Very good girl, Roops. Go lie down. Go lie down, honey. Okay? Go lie down. At my abrupt snarl, Makina throws herself flat to the ground. The enemy have ambushed you! Your position is pinned down by machine gun fire. What the fuck does this got to do with anti-explosives? Don't raise your head an inch! Keep that chin nuzzled against the ground and crawl along the ground to the trench visible ahead. What does this have to do with anti-explosives anymore? This fucking guy loves to play soldier. Just as instructed, Makina creeps along the floor on her knees and elbows, clutching an imaginary rifle. A moment later, she slipped her body into the space between the bed and the table. As Makina screams this report, she repositions an imaginary iron helmet on her head in order to regain a clear field of vision. Not half bad. She seems to be pretty deeply into the scenario. Oh, okay, I get it somewhat now what he's doing. Incoming from enemy position! M69! Assume the explosive defense position! So as we learned, it's pushing on the tragus. Pushing on the little out divot things, bumps from your ears. It's pushing that in with your thumbs, covering your eyes with the rest of your fingers, and opening your mouth. And then hitting the ground. Makina promptly plugs both her ears, opens her mouth wide, and strongly presses down on her eyelids. Lowering her body as close to the ground as she can, she melts her body with the trench, tensing in preparation for the blast. Kaboom! You damn fool! Your rear end's sticking up into the air! Shrapnel has just robbed you of your left buttock! Get it down! Get that ass down! Wow. Oh my god, what a fucking... this fucking game. I vigorously trampled down on Makina's rear end to emphasize the point. Basic grenade technique is to throw at 2-second intervals. The next one's coming. Assume the explosive defense position. Is her ass gonna be down this time? Okay! Kaboom! Oh my god. Just your typical early morning anti-explosives training? If you think of it as an expression of diligent devotion to national defense, doesn't this almost bring a tear to your eye? You're welcome to join in, Michiru. Well, consider the fact we just had a bombing. Might be good to know. As you know, Makina happened on the scene of a terror bombing yesterday afternoon. Accordingly, we're training to deal with similar scenarios. There's no downside to acquiring as many survival skills as you can. Well, I thought a silly over-the-top game might briefly get Makina's mind off the fact that her little sister's fighting for her life, but... Sorry about that, Makina. Michiru says we're being too noisy, so it seems we'll have to call this training off. It may be nothing but an innocent safety drill, but if the local civilian populace can't be convinced, we have no choice but to discontinue it. Please understand, Makina. That's exactly why he's doing it. Well, I mean... I do understand what you're trying to say, Michiru. In reality, the odds of any one person encountering a dangerous explosion in their lifetime is probably fairly low. And it's more likely that this training will end up being meaningless. But worst comes to worst, won't the people who wasted a few minutes planning for the what-ifs be the ones who get out alive? Isn't that what survival skills are? For example, Michiru, let's say you take a vacation abroad to a country where the fire laws aren't well defined or enforced. As you're gobbling down a tasty local delicacy, a fire breaks out in a crowded restaurant. As panicked customers stampede to push their way through the single doorway, you glance upward and notice the flames slowly reaching their way to a cylinder of propane gas. What do? Think fast. Well, it's the difference between a person who's been trained and a helpless spectator. If you guys want to see something kind of interesting, this is completely out of context, but this just reminds me of something. It's seeing how people play like Tekken and stuff in, I think it was Pakistan? Just seeing that, it's actually kind of amazing. It got a lot of spotlight because someone who came from it's either Pakistan or Afghanistan, one of I cannot remember exactly which one. But just the one person for the country kind of rose up and did pretty well in a tournament, and that kind of put a bit of a spotlight on their own kind of competitive cult thing. And there's one place that has all these arcade cabinets to set this up. I use arcade cabinets in quotes because they're cabinets they built themselves, but they have a PlayStation running for all of them with a TV, but they set up their own custom, basically fight stick and all that, like a pad, like it's a proper arcade console, like a proper arcade cabinet. It's pretty interesting. It looks incredibly dangerous because they have multiple generators just sitting out in the open to keep things running, because I guess around there or nearby power outages happen fairly frequently. And also just the way the place gets money from people too. You play your matches, and then when you're done, you go up to the counter and tell the guy how many you played and how many of those you ended up losing, and then that's what determines how you play. So it runs on like an honor system. It is weird, but it is interesting, like the ropes they went through just to make this happen for people that were interested. I don't know if I'll be able to find the video. I'm gonna try to find the video, because it's actually really kind of cool. I might have found it. Oh, I actually found the video, the exact video I was looking for. Okay, it is Pakistan. The Miracle of Pakistani Tekken. So yeah, if you guys are curious, the video right there, you can kind of watch later, just and talking about how that stuff, how it kind of works over there. Because it's actually pretty fascinating, honestly. In fact, I'm going to post that in my Discord as well, just so I also don't lose it. There. Now I won't actually forget that video as well. Now it's in my Discord. Because honestly, it is a very, very interesting video. Watched it with some friends a while back, and honestly, it's pretty impressive what they do. It is kind of funny though that it's like we got these fake arcade cabinets just have a PS4 in them or on top of them, and just wires upon wires connecting to extension cords, power bars, and generators just to keep this place going. It is just it's kind of nuts. It's mind-boggling, but it is so cool. I think it's even at points of the video they do say that if some setup for like the controller doesn't work for somebody, or a different game is gonna go in there, they just we'll just drill a different hole to reset up the the layout of everything. It's just like it's like just no problem, just make new holes, either make it wider, shorter, whatnot. It is pretty fascinating. I'm sure most of this is going in one ear and out the other. They're probably not even taking me seriously. But even so, there's something I feel obligated to tell you. Those who laugh at the diligent self-improvement of others will end up crying in the end. Without fail. Try to remember that.
なんか私間違ってた。チルチル、間違わない人なんていないんだよ。そして間違いに気がついたのなら正せばいいんだよ。
Hey, Yusuke. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? And hey, Mochi. God, I love Fortnite. Random, but okay. How's it going? I mean, Fortnite is actually kind of fun. I need to update the game, though. I'm many updates behind, so it's probably gonna take like a fucking half hour at this point. Yeah, how you doing, Mochi and Yusuke? Both doing well? I hope. Watch the new episode of, oh, you watched King Oger? I need to get around to that. It seems interesting so far. From just kind of the screenshots and people kind of talking about it, that actually seems interesting. No thank you, Fortnite. I'll be honest, Nick, I said that too at first. No thank you for Fortnite. But I played at, like, specifically the the no building one. No building, like, versions of it. It's actually a lot more fun than you would think. Shocking. Shockingly enough. actually be completely surprised. Trying to get all 1,513 spirits in Smash Ultimate, and I'm drained already at 1,200. Oh boy. Good lord. You got a majority of them, man. You can do it. Just maybe take a break. Give yourself time to just kind of... And then you can go back for the spirits. And, well, Yusuke has redeemed a fact. Alright. Fact. Thinking. I'm gonna use a somewhat basic one from Power Rangers. I mean, it's sort of basic now, but probably a lot of people don't actually know this. As far as the TV shows are concerned, the actual series themselves, there are 3 different Power Ranger universes. I'm not kidding. There are 3 universes. There's a main timeline and 2 alternates. Most seasons of like 90% of the Power Ranger seasons all take place in the main timeline. So that's your Mighty Morphin, In Space, Lost Galaxy, Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, that stuff. That all takes place in the main timeline. The 2 separate timelines, however, are the RPM universe and the Dino Charge universe. Why are they split off into separate timelines? Oh, that's actually very simple. RPM is split off from the timeline because that is a post-apocalyptic world where a renegade computer virus ended up taking over the world, killing most of humanity, poisoning the atmosphere, and reducing everyone to live inside a single city, until he was finally killed and defeated. So, can't really have any series take place after that, or even before it. There were no Power Rangers in that universe until then, until the Power Rangers RPM were a thing. So that's its own self-contained universe. And then there's the Dino Charge universe. Normally it was supposed to be connected to the main universe. But due to the events of their show, and a lot of time travel bullshit, dinosaurs do not go extinct. They're now treated like zoo animals. You literally go to a zoo and it's just, hey, there's a T-Rex here now. So they're in their own separate universe, because dinosaurs, extinct in the main timeline. Completely. I mean, in Dino Thunder, Tommy became a paleontologist. So, dinosaurs didn't go extinct in the Dino Charge universe, so they're their own separate timeline now. So yeah, Power Rangers has 3 timelines. 2 of them occupied by a single series, just because of how they are. The rest of them all fit in the main. Like every character in King Oger follows their own path and don't follow the Red Ranger so far. From what I understand of King Oger, literally all of the Rangers are kings of their own specific countries. So they don't have to listen to each other, they're just kind of in an alliance. So why would one king be listening and taking orders from another? They are their own sovereign entities. So that makes sense that wise. I mean, the show was literally called Lord King Sentai King Ranger. Like, fuck. Osama Sentai King Oger. Like, fucking, just royals upon royals. That's what the Blue King said. Oh, there you go. There, exactly. It's still something different from, like, it's still carrying on the Zenkaiger Dawn Brothers thing of not really being a traditional Sentai, I guess. But still being, at least look-wise, being a traditional Sentai. They're all kings, they're all royalty, they all govern their own countries. They just all happen to be able to transform. They don't have to listen to each other. They technically don't even have to work together if they don't want to. But I guess they are in some kind of alliance with each other, so they will work together in some instances. But I need to watch the actual episode because I am actually very intrigued. I do like the look of the suits. I'm actually going to bring up a picture of them right now. The King Osiers. Oh my god, it's the smallest picture in existence. Why is it so hard to find fucking photos nowadays? You know what? A background will do. That works. I'll take it. Oh, it's actually not as big as I thought. Okay, perfect. So there's the King Osiers. They're insect and, well, also royal themed, like night themed. They have a very different but still, you know, obvious Sentai look. They're very armored. They're almost like pseudo Kamen Riders in a way, especially with the bug theme. The bug theme and more armored look gives you more Rider vibes, but I'm okay with that. They look really good. Also, the fact they have a purple ranger as on the main core team, that's different. They have red, blue, yellow, those are standard. Purple and black. Like, that's actually kind of cool. I hate the CGI of Dawn Brothers. A lot of people did. A lot of people were turned off by the CGI of Dawn Brothers, but still said it was a good show. A very good show, and a lot of people are very sad that it's over now, but King Osier's winning people over, clearly, by episode 1. It has a very distinct... I actually love the looks of these suits. Like, what are there... Like, we got a freaking, like a stag beetle for our Red Ranger, a dragonfly for our Blue Ranger, a praying mantis for the yellow, a butterfly for purple, and then a bee for the Black Ranger. I love the Black Ranger's helmet with just the literal bee on there, but it works. The freaking, you know, it's like a little abdomen part with a stinger forming the mouth area underneath, below the eyes. That looks like a mouth guard. Like, that is clever. The rest don't really have something like that due to, you know, the, well, you know, the type of bug they are. And maybe just have a little protrusion or whatnot. But with him, that's a good way to include their frickin' abdomen, too. Fun fact, the Purple Osier suit actor is male even though the character is female. I mean, a lot of the time, the suit actor is male even if the character is female. It happens all the time, because that's just how it is. But I mean, I think if I read the stuff for King Osier, no one's 100% sure whether the purple was male or female to begin with. If I read the materials right. Like, no one is sure because they're just kind of, like, secretive or something. I mean, even just the design of their out of suit thing, they cover most of their face. Like, let me try to bring up a picture of them. They're the Papalion Osier, I believe. Yeah. Which, goddamn, I love these suits. These suits look so damn good. By the way they speak, she talks female. Okay. And the Ranger wiki wants to take forever to load anything, because fan wikis are kind of sucking ass nowadays. Maybe I can just look up a picture of them just by looking up their name. Ah, this works. Should work. Don't be a tiny ass picture. Perfect. So, out of suit, the purple ranger looks like this. Most of their face is covered for whatever reason. And just the mannerisms from how the suit actor is working, they seem to be very, very, like, I guess you could say the most stereotypical, almost knight-like, just kind of standing tall and still movements almost, like just very, I don't even know how to really describe that. I guess it's almost like a proper knight or king, I guess. Compared to their Blue Ranger, who's literally wearing, like, headphones, vests, and sandals. Their Black Ranger is like a kabuki actor, so he's wearing, like, kimonos and stuff. Their Yellow Ranger is, like, just stereotypical queen, princess in a full-on, like, ball gown. And from what I understand of Red, he's not even royalty at all. He just stole the damn sword from his king. If Osier came out with Saber, they'd make the best collab movie? Oh, probably, yeah. They'd feel like a very obvious choice to cross them over. I feel like Shin Kenja would also be a very good season to cross over with somehow as well. Because, I mean, because the King Osiers are more royalty from a standard, like, medieval times knights setting, while Shin Kenja is more, obviously, samurai. But only one of them was a lord there. Dragonfly Osier has some trip. Yeah, so Saber would be a good Kamen Rider crossover choice. I think Shin Kenjiro would be a great Sentai crossover choice with them. Because I think at that point you could really make some kind of commonality between both Red Rangers. Or at least their entire teams. Because, I mean, the Shin Kenjiro team, one of them was royalty while the rest kind of served him. They're not royal in any way, they're just, you know, they're vassals. While in King Osier, everyone but Red is a royal. So that's a bit of a change-up. Then the Red from Shin Kenjiro was only a stand-in for a real king, he was just there, and then, yeah, it was like, I didn't actually really want to do this. My job here is just to protect the real one. While the Red in King Osier, I believe, is literally proclaiming himself a king and stole from the actual king. So there's a few threads in there that can kind of maybe, you know, can mix. Yeah, I've heard that much. I've heard that much about it. I mean, I follow enough people on Twitter, I get that stuff. I see it all the time. Yeah, I'm probably gonna try and watch King Osier then. I mean, I was already interested with the suits. Dawn Brothers just didn't really... Just the look of it didn't really intrigue me. I'll be honest, I'm more of a fan of a more traditional kind of Sentai Ranger team thing. But that's just me. I mean, it's not anything against any of the seasons themselves that try something really different like Zenkaiger and Dawn Brothers did. Just not for me. That's all. Literally just not for me. King Osier seems like it might be more up my alley. I'm thinking it will be. King Ozer's gonna be what brings me back into Sentai.
人生をやり直すのに遅いなんてことはないのよさ。今すぐ正していけば全然間に合うんだよ。だってチルチルはまだ生きているんだから。なんかちょっといいこと言ってる風じゃない。まさか解かれた。マキナに人生を解かれたというの。この私は。
Getting a life preached at and life lessons from Makina of all people. In conclusion, it doesn't matter if you approach this as a kind of game. Remembering the basic principles somewhere in the corner of your mind is good enough. Did you put the frog hat on the dragonfly guy in King Ozier? Wow. He just mega drip there. Oh man, oh man. Guess frogs eat dragonflies and eat any kind of insect in general. Could be that he's just wearing the face of his enemy. Go with that route, he's wearing the face of his enemy to give himself more power. Why not join our anti-explosive training, Michiru? Okay, Michiru's now joining in on this.
すげえ、チルチルにうんって言わせちゃったのよさ。この男、口先だけで完全に一人の女を丸め込んじゃったよ。やっぱパパはすげえのな。
Didn't we just go over this? Even if you think stuff like that, don't actually say it.
私騙されてる？騙されてないよね。
Michiru, my friend, think this over carefully. I have no reason to deceive you. Even if I did, hypothetically, it would be the result of my concern for your well-being. You understand? Is that supposed to be his justification in her route for fucking burying her? I tricked you into thinking I had killed you, just so you'd realize you want to live.
Oh
my god, Makina, stop talking. When we use the phrase sweet talking, the nuance is usually fairly negative. You tend to imagine someone coaxing an innocent through insincere lip service. But there's nothing inherently wrong about persuasion. For example, if I sweet talk Michiru into re-examining her values, I've peacefully brought her around to my way of thinking. Isn't that an admirable alternative to conflict? How many hours do I have on Grisaia? Let me see. What are we at right now? 160, almost 161 hours. And I am on the 4th of 5 routes. Granted, it's hard to feel too self-satisfied about this particular outcome. That's more than the whole Persona 5 Royal main story. I mean, this is a visual novel. Compared to Persona 5's visual novel / RPG. Which, I mean, then again, with an RPG added in there, you think it would be longer. I feel like Persona 5 is longer. Who knows? Probably. Oh my god. This is awful. It's just too much. Michiru presses herself flat to the earth in the explosive defense position. Makina mashes a heel down on her posterior, snarling viciously. You can feel a slight glimmer of consciousness. Consciousness. In that the girl at least removed her boots first. But seriously. Or glimmer of conscience, whatever. I can't read. You know that. Where did she even pick up this demon marine drill instructor routine? She's impressively proficient at the verbal abuse. Hmm? What's up? No. I wouldn't say always, but in general, we engage in roughly similar activities. Harsh training's a good thing. When you're actually in the field, isn't the thought, that drill instructor put me through worse than this, kinda reassuring? Approach your drills like battle, and battle like your drills. There's nothing wrong with the theory. If anything's wrong about this scenario, wouldn't it be the way you swallowed my crap hook, line, and sinker? Oh my god. Drill instructor Makina. Well, I don't think rattling knees honestly matters much either way. But busting your balls over any arbitrary little thing they find is a drill instructor's job. What form would Jake Paul be in the digital world? I don't know. The girl seems oddly professional about this, down to the strangest little details. I have to admit, this might feel a little too realistic for a game. A jackass? Wow. Damn, Nick firing shots. In training? Wow. Makina, your cell phone seems to be ringing. Makina takes out her phone from her pocket and checks the caller ID screen, but... What's wrong? Aren't you gonna answer that? What does a magician say when he throws a Kabuto? Ow, that'll get cast off, figured as much. With those words, Makina trots off toward a nearby bicycle parking space, her phone still buzzing away. When it comes to people calling Makina's cell phone, Suo Omane would be by far the most likely possibility, followed by Komine Sachi. But if the call was from either of them, she'd hardly need to be so secretive about it. Hey there, Michiru. You can stop now. Sorry about dragging you into the game. Wow, you're lying through your teeth. That's so? Well, good for you. Your knees... Michiru's knees rattle violently as she continues her vigorous leaps. Depending on how you look at it, the strange smile on her face could be seen as the delirious expression of a soldier fallen prey to self-destructive disrepair, or despair. Well, whatever. This is pretty heavy exercise given the heat, so I suppose a bit of temporary lunacy isn't surprising. Heat and exhaustion often make people go a little off in the head. However, the person in question usually doesn't realize it. Asako once told me a story from a time she'd been shipped off to a war in South America. An unending heat wave, combined with enemy bombings that came like clockwork every day, had worn down her nerves to the point of numbness. Eventually, the company commander was wounded in action, and a new first lieutenant who arrived from the rear took over. He was apparently a timid man, prone to trembling in his trench when the bombs began to fall. Asako found his shaking so hilarious she'd spend the entire duration of the attacks cackling uproariously. The lieutenant interpreted this as a sign of derangement and promptly had her shipped back home. What's abnormal? What's normal? Depends entirely on your circumstances and perspective. Granted, I'm tempted to interpret Michiru's current actions as evidence that she's lost it. But to Michiru, this course of action might seem like the most reasonable thing in the world. But just as I'm pondering this possibility, the girl suddenly stops moving entirely. Squatting down, she wraps her arms around her knees and begins to mutter indistinctly at the ground. Given this heat and her clear physical exhaustion, it's possible that her brain's just melting in a stew of lactic acid.
Papa.
Hmm? Oh, hey Makina. What's up? Who was that?
おじいちゃまから。
Oh. Grandpa would be...
私のママのパパ。
Okay. The former head of the Irisu family, eh? What did he have to say?
ここじゃちょっと。
Oh boy, this is serious. I see. In that case, let's head somewhere a little more private. Oh, fucking Christ, Michiru. Actually, hold on just 1 second. Mind if I ask you a quick question before we go, Makina?
何?
What does the word Apus signify?
知んない。っていうか、そこ気になっちゃったの？膝抱えてゴロゴロ転がってるチルチルじゃなくて？
I mean, she's laughing, right?
じゃ、いっか。よくねえよ。いた。あ、もういた。
Oh my god.
なんで笑ってる私。
Oh, Michiru. Michiru seems to have botched a landing and twisted her ankle. The heat and fatigue have clearly done a number on the girl. She laughs hysterically, as though confusing pain with pleasure. Sometimes they're one and the same for people. You know who you are. No judgments, but you know who you are. Well now, what to do? For the moment, Makina and I surround the girl at a distance and poke at her with a stick. Fortunately enough, Sachi happens to pass by a moment later. After we explain the situation, she says, "Leave it to me," and leaves the courtyard at a trot. Assuming the maid had run off to call an ambulance or something of the sort, we wait by Michiru's side, offering encouraging words. This continues for about 15 minutes or so. At long last, Sachi returns in a pristine white maid uniform, cheerfully singing "wee woo, wee woo," and proceeds to nimbly snap together a folding aluminum stretcher. She changed clothes first? Sachi, I'm on it, grabs another vase. She's already got enough going on in her head. We don't need to add a second concussion. What the mother of... I'm certain we're all thinking it, but nobody dares to actually voice the words. In any case, Makina and I go with the flow and entrust Michiru to her new nurse's enthusiastic care. Then offer our brave colleague a deeply sincere salute as she's rolled off on a wheeled stretcher like a cylinder of propane on a cart. Alright. This may seem like a bad place to end, but I think this is a good place to end, considering I won't be able to stream for over a week soon. So we're gonna, leave ourselves with that little bit of a cliffhanger there, I guess you could say. Actually, I see it reasonably ending here. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. That feels like a good way to whet everyone's appetites and keep y'all anticipated until I'm able to stream again after today. I will be back tonight, though, for some Chroma Squad. It's just gonna be a long to be continued. Yes, it will be, unfortunately. I do apologize for that, but that's just how it kind of is right now. This is my only real free day I'm actually able to stream. Every other day I'll have something going on it's just gonna take up my time, and then I'll be moving literally like 8 days. 8 days and I am gonzo. Thank you, Nick. Thanks for posting myself, Mochi. So, after the Chroma Squad tonight, there won't be any streams again until, I believe... It brought to you by... So yeah, there won't be any streams till possibly the 18th. All depends on what happens once we get up there. I do know nothing is going to be set up the day we move, just because we literally have to pay the movers to spend the night in a hotel, because they'll be on their working day by the time they get up there. So I'm thinking the 18th might be the latest. Don't know about the earliest. That stuff, I'll keep you guys all informed on Twitter and on in the Discord, so at least you guys are aware. I'll still be trying to lurk in people's streams up until then. I won't be able to as much come next weekend, though, just because I'm taking my desk and computer and packing it all up. So I'll be relying mostly on the phone to, you know, watch things, and kind of hard to watch multiple streams on a phone. So about 7 o'clock tonight, gonna fire up stream again. We'll play through some more of Chroma Squad, and then it'll be see you later until the 18th, more or less. So that's very fun. That really is actually a good spot for me to end right there before Makina is gonna reveal something that her grandfather told her. So there, we got a good little cliffhanger for you guys. I mean, Mochi already knows, and presumably Nick also already knows. But still, I don't want to get into anything too heavy right now. Get into the middle of her explaining something, and then suddenly, alright guys, see you in 2 weeks. Peace. Yeah, that fucking smirk. Of course you know. You know everything. Alright, so thanks everyone, you know, for watching, commenting, and lurking. I appreciate it very much. I hope everybody has themselves a great rest of their day. I'll see you next time.